I wasn't supposed to be home that night. In fact, I had told everyone at work I'd be stuck pulling a late shift, buried in spreadsheets until morning. But something in me, call it instinct, call it luck, made me clock out early and head back to the little apartment I shared with the woman I thought I knew better than anyone in the world. You ever get that strange feeling in your stomach, the kind you can't explain? Like a knot tightening for no reason? That's what I felt walking up the stairs, key in my hand. The hallway smelled faintly of perfume, hers, but stronger than usual, like someone had sprayed too much, trying to cover something else. I remember stopping outside the door, listening. At first, there was nothing, just the usual hum of the building's heater. But then, a sound. A muffled laugh. Not hers. A man's. My chest tightened. I told myself I was imagining it, that I was tired, hearing things. But when I slid the key into the lock and the door swung open, the truth hit me harder than any punch could. There she was, my girlfriend of 3 years. The person I'd been planning a future with. And she wasn't alone. The scene in front of me blurred. I couldn't even process it all at once. Clothes scattered. 2 glasses on the coffee table. His arm draped casually around her, as if he belonged there. And her face, half shocked to see me, half guilty. My heart felt like it had been ripped clean out of my chest. I couldn't move, couldn't speak. It was like my whole body had frozen, except for the roaring in my ears. She jumped up, stammering my name, reaching for me, but I stepped back. I didn't want her touch. I didn't want excuses. I didn't want anything. I turned and walked out. My legs were shaking, my hands numb, but somehow I made it down the stairs. The cool night air hit me like a slap, and I thought maybe I could just keep walking, never look back. But then, I saw her. Leaning against the brick wall just outside our building was another woman. For a second, I didn't even process who it was. Long dark hair, arms crossed, eyes locked on me like she'd been waiting. It was her sister, the same sister who'd always been polite, distant even, whenever I came around. The same one who never really talked much when I was at family dinners, who always seemed to keep to herself. And now here she was, standing outside my apartment at midnight, like she knew exactly what was happening upstairs. Her eyes didn't show shock. No, they held something else entirely. Something I couldn't put into words. And when she finally spoke, her voice was calm, almost too calm. "I told you this would happen," she said. My blood ran cold. Because that's when I realized, whatever was going on here, this was only the beginning. To really understand that night, you need to know how we got there. Her name was Claire. 3 years of my life were tied to her smile, her laugh, the way she used to hold my hand in crowded places like she was afraid to lose me. When we first met, it felt like the universe had thrown us together. She was vibrant, full of energy, always dragging me into adventures. I was quieter, more grounded, the type who preferred routines and stability. Somehow, that balance worked, or at least I thought it did. We built our life in that small apartment. Shared mornings with burnt coffee, lazy Sunday afternoons with movies and takeout. We talked about getting a bigger place one day, maybe even buying a house when money wasn't so tight. She'd bring up kids sometimes, laughing about what our future family would look like. I believed every word. I never questioned her loyalty, not once. And then there was Anna, her sister. If Claire was sunshine, Anna was the opposite. Darker, quieter, with this piercing way of looking at you like she could see more than you wanted her to. She didn't talk much around me, but whenever she did, it was sharp, almost unsettling. At family dinners, she'd sit off to the side, saying little, but her eyes were always moving, observing. Claire brushed it off, saying Anna had always been like that. Still, I noticed the way she sometimes looked at me, like she knew something I didn't. I never pressed it. It wasn't my place. In the months leading up to that night, little cracks had started to show. Claire was more distant, glued to her phone, smiling at messages she wouldn't share with me. Our conversations got shorter, our laughs fewer. I told myself it was just stress, work, bills, life. But deep down, I think I knew something was shifting. There were nights she didn't come home until late, claiming she'd been with friends. Times she'd turn her phone over when I walked into the room. I wanted to trust her, so I did. Blindly. Maybe that was my mistake. And yet, Anna's words kept coming back to me. A few weeks earlier, after a family gathering, she had pulled me aside. It was the only time we'd ever really spoken alone. Her voice was low, deliberate. "Don't trust her," she said. No explanation, no context. Just those 3 words. I laughed it off then, assuming it was some sibling rivalry, some bitterness between sisters I couldn't possibly understand. Claire rolled her eyes when I mentioned it later, saying Anna had always been jealous. I believed her. I wanted to. But now, standing outside that building after catching Claire with another man, Anna's warning felt less like jealousy and more like prophecy. And the way she looked at me in that moment, calm, steady, almost like she had been waiting for me to finally see the truth, it sent a chill through me I couldn't shake. Because if she knew this was going to happen, what else did she know? I stood there on the sidewalk, my head spinning, my chest tight like someone had strapped a belt around it. Upstairs, my whole world had just collapsed in front of me. But down here, staring at Anna, I realized there was another layer, something I couldn't quite name. Her words, "I told you this would happen," echoed in my head. How could she have known? Did she see this coming all along? Or was she somehow part of it? I wanted answers, but my throat was dry. All I managed was a shaky, "What do you mean by that?" Anna didn't flinch. She didn't even blink. She just tilted her head slightly, like she was studying me under a microscope. "You think she just slipped into this?" she asked. "No. She's been planning it. You were never supposed to find out like this." Her calmness made my skin crawl. I was boiling inside, hurt, angry, betrayed. Yet Anna spoke as if we were discussing the weather. Upstairs, a door slammed. Heavy footsteps moved across the floor. My stomach dropped. Claire was coming down. "Don't let her twist it," Anna said quickly, her voice lower now, almost urgent. "Whatever she tells you, don't believe it. She'll say anything to keep you close. That's what she does." I opened my mouth to respond, but the apartment door creaked open above us. Claire's voice, shaky but still hers, drifted down the stairwell. "Wait. Please, just let me explain." I froze between them. Claire on the stairs, tears in her voice, and Anna in front of me, her eyes sharp, unblinking, like she'd been waiting her whole life for this exact moment. My mind was chaos. Do I let Claire talk? Do I turn to Anna, demand answers she clearly wasn't giving me? Every path felt like a trap, and the weight of both their stares pressed down on me until I could hardly breathe. Then Anna took a step closer. So close I could see the faint scar under her left eye, the way her lips curved into the slightest hint of a smirk. "She'll ruin you," Anna whispered, "unless I stop her first." And before I could react, Claire's footsteps pounded faster, rushing toward us. 2 sisters. 2 versions of the truth. And me, stuck right between them. Claire's footsteps thundered down the stairwell until she burst through the door, her hair messy, her shirt halfway buttoned. Her eyes darted between me and her sister, wide with panic. "Please," she begged, reaching for me. "It's not what you think. Not what I think." I had seen everything. My chest burned as her words clawed at me, desperate, hollow. But before I could even answer, Anna stepped in front of me, like a shield. "Don't touch him," she snapped, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. For the first time since I'd known them, I saw something raw flash across Claire's face, fear. Not the kind that comes from being caught cheating, but something deeper. She stopped mid-step, her hand frozen in the air. "Anna," she whispered, "don't." The way she said it chilled me. Like she wasn't just afraid of me leaving, she was afraid of her own sister. I glanced between them, my mind spinning. "What's going on?" I demanded. "What the hell aren't you telling me?" Neither of them answered. Instead, they stared at each other, 2 sisters, locked in some silent battle I couldn't understand. The air between them felt electric, like one wrong move could set off an explosion. Finally, Anna broke the silence. "Tell him, Claire," she said, her tone low and dangerous. "Or I will." Claire's face went pale. She shook her head quickly, almost like a child. "No, he doesn't need to know. Not like this." Her words weren't making sense, but her trembling hands and uneven breathing told me one thing. This wasn't just about me walking in on her with another man. Whatever this was, it went deeper. Much deeper. "Know what?" I pressed, my voice rising. "What are you hiding from me?" Claire's lips parted, but no sound came out. Her eyes filled with tears, and she looked at me like she wanted forgiveness for something far worse than what I had already seen. Anna stepped closer, her presence almost suffocating. "She's been lying to you from the start," she said coldly. "Not just about him. About everything." The words hit me like a punch. My stomach churned. I tried to piece it together, but the puzzle didn't fit. Every memory, every laugh, Every late-night talk with Claire suddenly felt tainted, like shadows were hiding behind them. Claire shook her head frantically. No, don't listen to her. She's twisting it. She's always hated me. I looked into her eyes, searching for the truth, but all I found was desperation. And behind her, Anna's steady stare, unblinking, unshaken. The night was heavy with tension. The city noise seemed far away, muffled, as if the world outside had stopped. It was just us, the betrayer, the accuser, and me, caught in the middle of a secret neither would fully reveal. And then Anna leaned in, her voice barely a whisper, but every syllable dripping with certainty. Tell him about the night in July, Claire. Claire gasped like she'd been struck, and my blood turned to ice. Because whatever had happened that night, it was about to change everything. Claire's face went white at Anna's words, her mouth opening, but no sound coming out. My chest tightened. What happened in July? Finally, Claire spoke, her voice shaking. It's not what you think, it wasn't my choice. Anna's laugh was bitter, sharp. Not your choice? You dragged him into this. You lied to him every single day since. I couldn't breathe. Drag me into what? I demanded. Neither of them answered right away. Claire's hands trembled, her eyes darting to Anna like she was begging her sister not to say more. And then Anna dropped it, like a bomb. You think she just cheated on you? No. She's been using you. Because that man upstairs? He's not just some fling. He's part of what happened that night in July. And if you stay with her, you'll end up just like the others. The others. The words sank like ice through my veins. My mind spun. What others? What had I been blind to all this time? Claire's tears spilled over, her whole body shaking. Please, don't listen to her. If you knew the truth, you'd never look at me the same again. And that's when I realized. I wasn't sure I ever truly knew her at all. The night in July. The others. Anna's accusations tore through me like shards of glass. My mind raced, scrambling for answers that didn't exist. I turned to Claire, my voice shaking with fury and fear. What is she talking about? What did you do? Claire's sobs broke into the night. I didn't mean for it to happen. I swear, I never wanted you to find out like this. Her words weren't enough. My chest burned as anger boiled over. Find out what? Then Anna cut through the chaos with chilling calm. That man upstairs isn't the first, and he won't be the last. She's been pulling them in, one after another. You're just lucky you walked in early, because the others didn't walk out. The world stopped. My ears rang. The implication was so horrifying I almost couldn't comprehend it. Claire snapped her head toward Anna, her voice breaking. Stop it. You don't know what you're saying. But the terror in her eyes told me Anna wasn't lying. My knees weakened as flashes of our life together replayed in my mind. Late nights when she disappeared, odd stains she brushed off, the fear in her laugh when I asked questions she dodged. Tell him the truth, Claire, Anna pressed. Tell him what's buried. Claire's trembling lips parted. For a moment, I thought she would confess. Instead, she looked straight at me, her tears glistening in the dim streetlight, and whispered, I did it all for you. The words slammed into me, more terrifying than any denial. For me? What did that even mean? Before I could ask, Anna grabbed my arm, pulling me back. Don't listen. She's dangerous. If you stay, you'll be next. Claire's face twisted with desperation, her hand reaching out. No, please, you don't understand. He needs to know everything. If you walk away now, it won't stop. It never stops. I froze between them, my heart pounding so violently I thought it might tear through my chest. Two sisters. Two truths. And just when I thought the nightmare couldn't cut any deeper, Anna leaned in and whispered one final, devastating twist. She's not the only one who's been lying to you. Those words, she's not the only one who's been lying to you, hung in the night like poison. I felt my knees weaken, the ground swaying under me. I turned to Anna, searching her face. What are you talking about? Her eyes softened for the first time all night. I've known, she whispered. I knew what Claire was doing. I tried to stop her. That night in July. I was there. Claire's voice cracked. Don't, please don't. But it was too late. The truth was spilling out. Anna's gaze locked with mine, heavy, unblinking. She lured him in, another man. Said it was just for fun. But it got out of hand. He didn't make it out. Her voice trembled, but her words were sharp. I helped cover it up. Buried it, so you'd never know. Because if you knew, you'd never forgive her. Or me. I staggered back, the weight of it crushing me. Claire's sobs echoed off the brick walls. She shook her head violently. No, I didn't mean for it to happen. It was an accident. I panicked. I only wanted to protect us. Protect you. Protect me? The word cut deeper than anything else. My life with her, every laugh, every touch, every whispered dream, it had all been built on shadows. Lies. Blood. Anna reached for me, her voice low, urgent. You still have a choice. Walk away. Tonight. Start over. Claire fell to her knees, clutching at the air between us. Don't leave me. I can change. I'll be better. Please, don't let her turn you against me. I love you. Her words shattered me, because part of me still wanted to believe them. Part of me still remembered the woman I thought she was. But standing there, with two sisters locked in a war of secrets, I knew something had already broken beyond repair. The night in July. The hidden truth. The lies wrapped in love. I looked at Anna. At Claire. At the life I thought I had. And finally, I stepped back. I don't even know who either of you are anymore. I whispered. My voice was hoarse, but steady. And I'm done being the fool who doesn't see the truth. Claire cried out as I turned away. Anna said nothing. Only silence followed me as I walked down that dark street, each step heavier than the last. I never looked back. Weeks later, I still wonder what became of them. Did Claire spiral deeper, or did Anna finally put an end to it? Did their war consume them both? I'll never know. But I do know this. Sometimes love blinds you, until the mask slips and you see the monster behind it. And sometimes, the most dangerous secrets aren't the ones your enemies keep, but the ones whispered by the people you thought you could trust with your whole heart. And I learned that night. Sometimes walking away isn't weakness. Sometimes it's survival.